There is one spot left. One team still has a chance to make the championship round of the Geico PBA Summer Shootout. And now points don't matter. Today, the last team standing earns the 5th and final spot in the Shootout Stepladder Final. From the heart of Chicago, welcome to the 2012 Geico PBA Summer Shootout. It's warm outside and inside the 10-pin bowling lounge. The food is nice and spicy.
Looks good.
I'm Lon McCarron along with PBA Hall of Famer Randy Peterson. 4 teams have already advanced to the stepladder finals. Storm, 900 Global, Brunswick, and Track, and now Randy. 5 teams remain fighting for the one remaining spot in the finals.
Yeah, it's truly do or die time now, and the format's simple. Last team standing wins. So the last team left gets the 5th and final spot into the stepladder finals. I guess, Lon, you could say this is the PBA's version of Survivor.
It worked for them. The bottom rung of the stepladder is TBA at the moment, but very soon one of our 5 remaining tandems will earn that position. Once you get into the stepladder, well, anything could happen. Rotogrip, DV8, Columbia 300, Hammer, and Ebonite now battling for that 5th seed.
Each player gets to throw one shot. The lowest total pin count will be eliminated.
5-way battle for one spot. This is Wes Malott from Team Rotogrip. Is that a replay from every ball we've seen him throw?
Seems like it. And remember, you don't have to have the highest pinfall. You just don't want the lowest.
Law of the jungle, right? When you're being chased by lions, you don't have to be the fastest gazelle. Just don't be the slowest one.
Great analogy.
All right, Malott with a strike now. His very solid partner, Carolyn Doran Ballard. She has been all strikes during the doubles competition, save for one ball.
Come on.
Get out.
And she backs up her partner with a strike. So a big 20 for Rotogrip. It doesn't get any better than that. All right, now Team DV8. This first series of balls, just one of the 5 teams will be knocked out, the low count.
Can't do it much better than that, Lon. And she loves it.
Mike Machuga. What pressure Rotogrip has put on the other teams immediately out of the gate. Machuga up to the task.
I think it's a big advantage for the teams that go early in this competition. The teams that are sitting and waiting, knowing what they have to do, knowing the total pinfall that they must knock down to advance, a little more pressure in that situation.
Allowing some doubt to creep in, perhaps. Ronnie Russell, Machuga's teammate. Off Machuga's strike, a 9 count for Russell.
That was a lot of 9.
Almost 10. No decimal points in bowling.
No.
19 total for DV8. Now, Columbia 300, Dan McClellan. Which Dan McClellan is going to show up, the 7 or the strike? How about 9?
He's done that quite a few times as well.
Yep.
We'll just give this team 19.
Barnes has been that solid. Chris Barnes up next.
Bet you $1 he strikes.
You got it.
Okay.
Here's your $1. Oh, I should know better. I'm still new. 19 for Columbia 300.
Have you not been watching? This guy doesn't miss.
I'm always going to bet against you, Randy.
Yeah, stand in line.
All right, so Mike Wolf now for Hammer, not the most consistent of teams in this competition.
Oh, God.
There you go again. Missing the head pin, a 7 count for Wolf. And so
All right, pick me up again.
that is going to be trouble with a 20 and a 19 and 19 before them.
I mean, I really feel for Mike Wolf and Bill O'Neill. It's been a huge struggle throughout the entire competition for this team. They never got it on track.
Bill O'Neill now. O'Neill's solid 10 pin gives them a count of 16. They are the low team so far with just Ebonite to bowl.
Couch is laughing.
That's all I got. It's as good as I can do it. It's as good as I can do.
All right, Team Ebonite. That's Tommy Jones.
Extremely low strike percentage for a guy known for throwing a lot of strikes.
And there's a strike from Jones.
Hey, don't mess this up.
Vintage Tommy Jones there and verbally as well.
Jason Couch now needs 7 to eliminate Team Hammer.
Oh, thank God.
He likes it.
No, no, no. Oh!
That's 10.
Save that one.
So Hammer, the first team out in this shootout. 4 teams left. 1 spot up for grabs.
Right now, man.
The Geico PBA back to Chicago in the 2012 Geico PBA Summer Shootout on the Chicago River. Some folks having some fun out there. 4 teams remain in this survival round. Only 1 will advance to the stepladder finals. On the approach now, Team Roto Grip, Wes Malott. Oh, no strike from Malott this time.
Sorry, come on.
It's the last time we will see this doubles format where it's just 1 ball per player total pins. Wes Malott obviously not thrilled with this shot. Looking for more than 8. Doesn't get it. Needs help now from CDB.
Carolyn Doran Ballard. He's gotten a lot of help from her through this doubles competition. And she picks him up there with a strike.
The Honey Badger strikes again.
18 total for Roto Grip. All right, so a job well done for Doran Ballard now on the approach. Team Deviate. Mike Machuga. In this version of musical chairs, and they're running out of chairs. Machuga didn't like it right out of his hand. He leaves 3.
And that shot right there by Mike Machuga saves Roto Grip.
Indeed.
Dang it.
An 18 count for Roto Grip. The best the Deviate can do is 17. And Ronnie Russell will try to provide that right now. Wow, that's 15 total for Deviate. Boy, they're on the bubble. And they know it. Their shootout might be done.
As the teams start to dwindle down, these low scores like 17, 16, 15 don't have much of a chance.
Dan McClellan, Columbia 300. There's a 9.
All right, so there's 9. We know what Chris Barnes has been doing throughout the competition. So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to say Chris Barnes gets just enough to get by Deviate. You want to bet?
Throw better than last time.
Not this time. I'm tapped out. All right, so now Chris Barnes.
Needs at least 7. I'm going to go with Chris Barnes on this one.
He has gotten done what he needs to get done most of the time. And there's the 7 count. Just a tick better than Deviate. Yeah, Columbia is safe.
You know what you needed. It's fine. Wow. Was that bad? Wow, yeah.
He just doesn't want to be that slow gazelle.
A few times. I could never do it. Wow.
Exactly right. Hey, this may have been bad, but it's good enough to get past Deviate. It's really all that matters.
All right, so Barnes gets his team safe. Now Ebonite. Tommy Jones with a 9 count.
Couch needs 7. 7 or better for Couch. Deviates eliminated.
Couch said he's retiring from competition. Really, Jason?
Yes, this is my last swan song, last tournament. I'm out. I'm taking a new position with Ebonite International. I'm going to be the full-time ball rep on tour. I'll be coaching the guys on all 4 of our brands, and I will be taking a new sales position with the company as well. So still just as much travel, but I won't bowl on the tour anymore at all. I think it's time to win this tournament here and be done.
Couch with the big ball, and that knocks out Team Deviate.
Jason Couch obviously has a lot left in the tank, but he's committed to his decision, and we all wish him the best of luck.
All right, so Team Deviate, the latest to fall by the wayside in this shootout that leaves 3 teams fighting for 1 spot. Rotogrip, Columbia 300, and Jason Couch on Team Ebonite. Welcome back to Chicago and the 2012 Geico PBA Summer Shootout. Lon McCarron with Randy Peterson. We started with 5 teams in the Survivor rollout. We have lost Team Deviate and Team Hammer, so 3 teams remain. PBA.com is the place to find officially licensed PBA merchandise and apparel, hats, hoodies, towels, and more. Click on shop on PBA.com. Wes Malott and Rotogrip back in action. Nope, that's not a replay. A Big Ten ball for Wes.
Down to 3 teams. The folks need to get their striking shoes on. It's exactly what Wes Malott does right here.
So Malott and his teammate Carolyn Doran Ballard again trying to put maximum pressure on their competition. A strike would do that. Roll. Ballard with the 10, wobbling.
That's what I'm talking about. Right
She
there.
got them all.
Yes. They used to be flagged.
Watch the 10 pin and then the react.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about right there.
That's right. Malott's hands have to hurt from the high fives that Carolyn's putting to him.
Full 20 for Rotogrip. Dan McClellan now with a big strike for the big Canadian.
Great shot there by D-Mac.
The PBA offseason looms after this shootout. What does Chris Barnes, a former Rookie of the Year and Player of the Year, do during his downtime?
Yeah, I mean, I work with Mark Baker a lot, and we worked on some physical things, and we worked on trying to change a few things to match up to what some of the guys were doing better on tour. But ultimately, my physical game was pretty sound. You can always bowl better, I think. I don't think I ever get to a point where I'm really that comfortable with all of that. But every summer I also pick out something that I don't do that well. And so this summer I'm working on something with different hand position, lets me create a little different axis rotation, and hopefully lets me keep up.
Keeping up is what Columbia 300 needs to do right now. Rotogrip put up a 20 spot. Barnes' teammate McClellan opened with a strike. And Barnes is not going to be left behind.
2 teams perfect. All the pressure now on Tommy Jones and Jason Couch. Seen this shot a lot throughout the entire competition. Chris Barnes with that straight bullet to the 1-3, and it's 10 in the pit.
You want pressure? Well, Tommy Jones, you got it. He must strike for Ebonite to keep bowling. They've had a lot of fun in this shootout, but now it gets very serious. Tommy Jones. Oh, Tommy Jones with a 9 count, and that will do it. Ebonite knocked out. And that sends Jason Couch off the competitive landscape for the last time. And the last ball he threw, a strike, of course. Now only Rotogrip.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about right there.
And Columbia, 300 remain. 2 teams, but only 1 spot in the finals available. So just 2 teams remaining in the Survivor Shootout. Rotogrip and Columbia 100. How did we get here? Well, here's our Geico Championship recap.
Well, it's been a tough summer series for Team Hammer. Bill O'Neill and Mike Wolf, the first to be eliminated in the shootout.
That's fitting.
Not much fun either for Team Deviate. Mike Machuga and Ronnie Russell. Well, a 7 and an 8 count pretty much put an end to their tournament hopes. The third and final team to be eliminated in the shootout, Team Ebonite, which saw Tommy Jones go Brooklyn and saw Jason Couch's last competitive shot thrown on television.
And so now Rotogrip and Columbia, 2 teams battling for a spot in the stepladder finals. Wes Malott. Not much more you can say about this guy who has struck almost every time, but this time a 9 count.
Right. Nice.
Yeah, but he's got a good partner to hold him up.
That was a great shot.
And Malott not happy.
That's because we're down to less people.
Carolyn Doran Ballard needs her best here.
Little love.
Carolyn with a 9 of her own, 18 total.
Never know.
Big trouble for Rotogrip now, as Columbia 300 can step up, knock down 19 with 2 balls, and capture that 5th and final spot in the stepladder finals.
Rotogrip had been very good about putting pressure on their opponents. Now here's an opening for Dan McClellan and Chris Barnes. McClellan. And he leaves 1 pin.
Now it's up to the future Hall of Famer Chris Barnes. A strike here, they move on. Pretty good shot here though, Lon. It just comes in just a pinch late, kind of half pocket, and leaves the half 10.
A strike will move his team into the stepladder finals. Doran Ballard's fate, along with Wes Malott, riding on this ball.
Hit.
And that's 9 for Barnes, and we will keep bowling.
New life for Team Rotogrip, as Chris Barnes fails to knock all 10 down with this shot right here. It was a little weak out of his hand, Lon. He's going with that real direct shot. You could see him right there. He said hit, and the ball didn't hit hard enough to get the 10 pin out.
So a 9 count from all of our shootout bowlers. And let's do it again, starting with Wes Malott. Malott has gone strike 8, strike 9.
Come on, Wes.
And another 8 count. He can't believe it.
Come on.
How many lives does Rotogrip have? This ball just cuts right through the heart. Nice break kick in the 7 out late, but the 4-10 stands, and now all of the pressure back on Carolyn Doran Ballard.
She has been up to the task nearly 100% of the time. She needs to strike to give Rotogrip their best chance.
Come on. Yes!
And she got it again.
Come on.
And Wes says, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Talk about clutch. Carolyn Doran Ballard in this shootout has struck every ball but once. And that ball, she left a 10 pin.
All right, so 18 for Rotogrip. Now, Columbia 300 with a huge opening. Dan McClellan, this might be the more important ball right here of the 2. Oh, McClellan rises to the occasion.
Great shot from a future great player on the PBA Tour. Dan McClellan steps up and throws the best shot of the tournament. His partner likes it too.
Now Chris Barnes can close it out. He needs 9. Will Carolyn, Doran, Ballard bowl again?
There we go.
He likes it. 9 is good enough to win the Survivor Shootout. McClellan and Barnes move into the stepladder finals. Roto Grip on the outside looking in. So the number 5 seed goes to Columbia 300, and who knows what will happen when they get a chance.
Well, Chris Barnes' partner Dan McClellan steps up and knocked down all 10. They only needed 19 to advance and knock Rotogrip out. Barnes gets 9. That's enough. They're moving on.
Columbia 300 into the stepladder finals. They didn't throw the most strikes, but they scored when they really needed it. Randy's down on the approach with Chris Barnes and Dan McClellan.
All right, this team, Columbia, grabbed the last spot in the stepladder finals. D-Mac, I'll start with you. Early on, it looked like you had some struggles, trouble trying to get your ball to the pocket, but in this eliminator round, you were rock solid. What changed for you?
Me and Chris talked a little bit before the elimination round, and he was just telling me, you know, get a little left, stay a little firm, and that's what I did. I just firm through the shot, follow through, and just try and get 9, basically.
Nice job. Good going. Chris, great advice for your partner here. This do or die situation, I mean, you've been here before. What was it like? You had 2 shots at it, didn't get the first one done, you got done the second time. What was that like?
Well, it's fun to be here. That's the part that, I mean, over the years has gone from being a really nervous, anxiety kind of thing to this is what we're out here to bowl, and that's why I'm still enjoying being out here. And I'm kind of skipping rocks out there, so it's a testament to how much that ball actually hooks, that it actually sees the lane at some point. I can't throw it much harder than that, but Dan bowled so good, he took a lot of pressure off me. I just had to hit the one in the middle, and that was enough.
All right, guys, good luck in the stepladder finals.
Carolyn Doran Ballard had to be the number 1 star in this round, even though her team came up short to Columbia 300. The stepladder finals up next, right here on ESPN.